himself superstar. Hey, life without music, I can't go. No. Life without music, I can't go. No. I'm gonna get him. The last thing I do can't get away. Crime don't pay. Can't get away with that. Life without music. Murder style. I can't go. You have to get a music. You have to get a music. Nothing greater, nothing better like the music from my wireless. Only thing that I detest is the man who steal my wireless. Him have to run like a fugitive. Him have to run from detective. Him have to run like a fugitive. Him have to run from detective. Samuel Thomas is the thief name. He must lead a life of shame. Some of them call him Uncle Sam. Some of them call him Uncle Tom. Uncle Sam and Uncle Tom, yes, they are the same man. S-A-M means steal away music. T-O-M-E-T for our music.
It's always a better choice. My one and only station.
DBS Radio.
Fair and balanced, unbiased and clear, concise and accurate. This is the DBS Evening News. Here now is your presenter with the headlines.
In the headlines, Health Minister Kasani Laville wants Dominicans to pay greater attention to the primary healthcare system. In news from the region, Trinidad and Tobago moves to shield economy from Hormuz disruptions. And internationally, Lebanon president says the ceasefire should move to permanent agreements. Good evening, I am Leila Langford. Details of the news when we return.
Reach out. Reach out. DBS will be there. DBS News.
Health Minister Kasani Laville wants Dominicans to pay greater attention to the primary healthcare system. He told a health symposium at the Dominica China Friendship Hospital to mark Primary Healthcare Week that unless primary healthcare is developed in Dominica, Dominica's health system will continue to face mounting challenges.
Colleagues, primary healthcare is where health truly begins. It is prevention, it is early detection, this is continuity of care. And let me say this plainly. If primary healthcare is strong, then the hospital, especially this one, it can breathe. And for God's sake, the hospital needs to breathe. If primary healthcare is weak, then hospitals suffer. Any of you from A&E would know this clearly. And even those on the wards, they cannot breathe. Too often we see the consequences of late interventions, overfilled wards, long wait times. I spoke to a doctor recently who spoke about her patients on the ward and her patients in A&E. That's what I mean when I say hospitals cannot breathe. And despite the major expansion of the hospital that you see here, if we do not do our best collectively in primary health care, no matter how big this hospital may become, it will not be able to breathe. My friends, it's more than just that. It's increased complaints, increased waiting times. It is reduced service. And the system focused to spend heavily on treatment rather than early detection. It's better if we can identify it early through screening and prevent it.
Health Minister Kasani Laville. The Dominica Air and Seaport Authority is mourning the death of its Chief Executive Officer, Ian Pinard. Mr. Pinard is a former Minister for Public Works and a parliamentary representative for the Soufriere constituency. Chairman of the Board of the Dominica Air and Seaport Authority is Blaise Jones.
So I heard the news this morning myself, and I certainly could not believe it. Mr. Pinard and we had a very cordial meeting yesterday. And Pinard, in his usual style, was very jovial, and I had no indication that he was not well. When I left the meeting, he headed for another meeting at the airport site. Next I heard was this morning that he had passed. He passed at his home early this morning. We were on a journey. It was a wonderful journey. Pinard came in. He followed up from where Mr. Bardwell left off. These are two different individuals. He had his own style, and people beginning to fall in line with his ideals and his idea. And he was very focused. Obviously, some persons did not like his style, but the rank and file, I believe, fell in line, and they saw where he was headed, and the board gave him full support all along. Well, I think he gave the managers a little more power. He empowered them to take over their department. That released him from certain decisions. The managers had a role to play, and I think he gave them the wherewithal and the latitude to perform that role.
Chairman of the Dominica Air and Seaport Authority, Blaise Jones. Operations Manager at the Dominica Air and Seaport Authority, Miss Lynn Valerie, says the loss of Mr. Pinard is a blow for the institution.
Mr. Pinard was such an inspiring leader. He brought great change to the spa. And I can say we, general staff of DASPA and management, we really look forward to great things at DASPA with he at the helm. I haven't even really started processing it because we spoke yesterday and we also saw a meeting first thing this morning. So I was hurrying in to make sure when he come that we would meet. We had a very important meeting. I want to just remember him as that person really being that motivator, that go-getter, getting things done, working with his management team and staff. And one unique thing about him, he was very much in touch with every staff from management to every status of staff you can think of. And every morning especially, first thing, most mornings, he would ensure that he comes down to the operations department. He would go from office to office, shed to shed, and meet every staff in the offices, the shed they had, to know what's going on. He's right there with us.
Operations Manager at the Dominica Air and Seaport Authority, Miss Lynn Valerie. Joanne Geese is PR and Communication Specialist at DASPA.
It's really hard this morning getting this news, and Mr. Pinard wasn't just a general manager to us. He was a mentor. He was a person we looked up to. He impacted the staff in a way that we did not expect in such little time that he was with us. And I mean, for me personally, knowing Mr. Pinard for over 20 years, not just as the general manager on the port, it's something that is hard. Getting that news this morning and, knowing that the impact that he had on the staff while he was there, to see the staff come together in this sad time. It's sad news this morning. It's a sad day for us here, but we have come to hold on and depend on each other for the strength that we need. And I think that is what he would have wanted us to do, lean on each other for the strength to go through this and continue the work that he started here and to bring the authority forward and to bring it to where it needs to be.
Joanne Geist, PR and Communication Specialist at DASPA. Meantime, the government of Dominica has expressed profound sadness at the passing of former government minister and distinguished public servant Ian Pinard. He served as parliamentary representative for the Soufriere constituency, including the communities of Soufriere, Scotshead, Galliot, and Point Michel. He was first elected to Parliament in 2005 and re-elected in 2014, representing his constituents' interest with distinction at the national level. During his time in government, Mr. Pinard was first parliamentary secretary in the Ministry of Education and then Minister for Public Works and Ports with responsibility for road infrastructure and port operation. Following his tenure in elected office, Pinard continued to contribute to national development in executive roles, including Petro-Caribe, Dominica, and most recently CEO of the Dominica Air and Seaport Authority. The government of Dominica says he will be remembered as a dedicated public servant who carried out his responsibilities with quiet determination and a strong sense of duty. The government says it honors his commitment to the people he served, particularly in the Soufriere constituency, and his contribution to national development. The government extends condolences to his family, friends, former constituents, and colleagues. In other news, Chairman of the Police Welfare Association, Sergeant David Andrew Jr., says the financial freedom of members is one of its main priorities for the year. Sergeant Andrew was re-elected president of the Police Welfare Association.
Definitely one of the things we want to look at in this new term is the financial freedom of our members. We realize that in these hard economic times, officers are faced with rising economic costs, and this is a global phenomenon, as we can see. However, the Police Welfare Association have started to partner with the private sector to provide discounted packages to members on various commodities provided by the private sector. We believe in this way it will help to reduce the burden and the impact on the finances of our membership. Also, we are in the early stages of developing our own financial institution to see how we can service our members in terms of loans and other financial packages. We're happy to the fact that government has also always provided in terms of salaries for our members and salary increase, which was 8% in the last triennium, and this is one of the things that have proven to be assist the members. But we also believe that we can look within ourselves to provide necessary financial assistance to our members. So this will be our focus in this year for the new executive.
Chairman of the Police Welfare Association, Sergeant David Andrew Jr. Meantime, Deputy Police Chief Jeffrey James says he is hoping the new Police Welfare Association will assist with the management of the police force.
I think it's a perfect opportunity for the Welfare Association to work together with the police administration. That augurs well for the welfare and the general police force in terms of giving the people efficient and effective service. The welfare is mandated to work with the police administration for the wellness of the men and the efficient running of the Commonwealth of Dominica Police Force. So I am encouraging the Welfare Association, the new executive, to work in unity, oneness, and commitment with the police administration. That will augur well for them and will be in a better place. I see their move by the welfare to build better communication and collaboration with the police administration. I want to encourage them to do that. And if they fail to do that, it will be unwise of them.
Deputy Police Chief Jeffrey James. Outgoing president of the National Youth Council of Dominica, Firelander, is calling on young people across the island to actively engage in the election process for a new executive. Nominations for a new executive for the National Youth Council of Dominica officially closed yesterday. The elections will be held during the General Assembly of the National Youth Council of Dominica on Saturday, 16th May.
Now is the time for young people to step forward, ask questions, and truly engage with the ideas being presented. This is more than election. It is an opportunity to shape the direction of youth leadership and ensure that the voices of young people are represented with strength, clarity, and purpose. These elections are not just about positions, they are about purpose. The individuals elected, they will carry the responsibility of representing an entire generation, influencing policy and building partnerships that drive meaningful change. I encourage every young person to take ownership of this moment and be part of the conversation.
Outgoing president of the National Youth Council of Dominica, Firelander. That's the national focus, regional and international developments up next.
Reach out. Reach out. DBS will be there. DBS News.
In news from the region, Trinidad's Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar told the lower house of parliament today that Trinidad and Tobago is closely monitoring escalating tensions in the Middle East and their potential impact on global supply chains and the domestic economy. She said the government is working with international partners to support stability in maritime trade routes. Persad-Bissessar told the House that Trinidad and Tobago has also taken part in recent international discussions on the matter, while on the domestic front, the Prime Minister said government is engaging the private sector to assess and reduce possible economic fallout from the tensions. And internationally, Lebanese President Joseph Aoun has said that a ceasefire agreed to by his country should be transformed into permanent agreements without saying whether he was referring to a prospective peace deal with Israel. The televised address was his first speech since the U.S. brokered a ceasefire to end 6 weeks of fighting between Israel and Iran-backed terrorist group Hezbollah on Thursday. Hezbollah has said it opposes direct talks with Israel and its lawmakers today and criticized the government for agreeing to hold such negotiations. That's news, the DBS Evening Sports Report. Up next with Alian Christopher.
Covering the nation and beyond. DBS Sports Report.
Good evening, I'm Alian Christopher of the DBS Evenings Sport Report. The 2026 Windward Islands Under-19 cricket title will be decided on the last day of the competition, with defending champions Dominica and St. Lucia in the hunt for the championship on Saturday. The weather robbed both teams of an opportunity to take a clear advantage heading into the final day, as Friday's match at the Geneva playing field was abandoned without a ball being bowled due to a wet outfield. Dominica will play St. Vincent on Saturday at the Benjamin's Park, while St. Lucia plays Grenada at the Geneva playing field. St. Lucia will be crowned champions if they beat Grenada, while Dominica will retain the championship with a win over St. Vincent and if Grenada beats St. Lucia. Meantime, over at the Benjamin's Park today, the St. Vincent and the Grenadines beat Grenada by 60 runs. St. Vincent batting first scored 181 for 6 in a match reduced to 35 overs due to overnight showers. LeBron Douglas got 44, Damali Phillips 30 and Casado Henry got 23. Bowling for Grenada, Desmond Mitchell took 3 for 32, needing 182 to win. Grenada were bowled out for 121. Kavon Bartholomew got 32 and Desmond Mitchell 19. Bowling for St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Elran Glasgow had 3 for 31, Olani Slack 2 for 14, and Casado Henry 2 for 28. St. Vincent winning by 60 runs. Tomorrow is the final day of the tournament. On to netball. The national under-16 netball team ended their run in the Caribbean Netball Association Jean-Pierre under-16 tournament with a victory as they beat Antigua in their final match on Friday in Trinidad. Dominica entered the match with 4 defeats from 5 games, but outplayed Antigua to take the 21-11 win in the final match. Dominica ended the tournament with 2 wins and 4 defeats in the 6 matches played. Grand Form Primary School and the Trafalgar, Mount Prosper, Wharton Waven combined schools are into the finals of the National Bank of Dominica Sports Division Primary Schools Boys Development Division. The 2 schools advanced following playoff action Friday at the Newtown Savannah. The Grand Form Primary School secured the top seed, winning all their matches, beating Soufriere Primary 5-1 and the Trafalgar, Mount Prosper, Wharton Waven 1-0 in their matches. Meantime, Trafalgar, Mount Prosper, Wharton Waven combined advanced to the final with a 3-2 win over the Soufriere Primary School. The school captain, Romeo Christopher, was happy with the fight back.
At first when they scored, I didn't feel there was no hope for us coming back. But until we keep playing, pushing hard, we just come back and we win, and here we are in the finals.
All right, so you had to really rally the guys. What did you say to them? Because Soufriere scored first. So what did you say to them to get them back into the game?
We have to lock in, pay attention, pass the ball, and everything, shoot, everything, just lock in.
So how happy are you with the overall performance of your guys?
Very happy. I'm very happy and proud.
So you're into the finals and you'll be playing Grand Four in the finals. Grand Four beating you guys earlier on. So what did you take from that experience and what will be hoping to do differently next game?
I learned for us to keep pushing more, passing more, everything more. We just have to learn from our mistakes, every single thing, for us to push harder and win the finals.
Trafalgar, Mount Prosper, Wharton Waven School captain Romeo Christopher. Soufriere Primary finished in 3rd place. The finals will take place next week. DABA President Donnie Robinson says games could be played in Paybush, Trafalgar, Pichelin, Grand Bay and Windsor Park for the upcoming national basketball season. The season officially gets underway on Saturday. Robinson says that the DABA plans on hosting matches in the out districts once the venues are ready.
Decentralizing basketball is one of the pillars, and the end result of decentralizing basketball, or one of the end results of decentralizing basketball, was to have outside of Roseau national champions, and we've done that. Our key objective is to bring games to the out district. That remains our objective. This year is the only year that we have funds, and what we are going to use the government funds for is for basketball development. We're not going to use it to run the league. So it's not going to be to pay championships. It's going to be to put programs in place and put the infrastructure in place that we can control in terms of making sure the courts are painted properly, making sure that we have power at the facility, even if it's a mobile generator, so we can have those games. And our fixtures this year, every month we'll have 1 or 2 Sundays where games are assigned to 3 or 4 locations, and it's going to be the Windsor Park, it's going to be Paybush, we have Trafalgar, Pichelin/Grand Bay districts. So these are the 4 targeted areas for now. Now, the fact that we are building it into our schedule says that we have the commitment. We have now some preliminary funding. There's an expense to take the games out, and that was one of the things I was crying about last season. There's actually a genuine expense to run a game.
DABA President Donnie Robinson. The 2026 season will open on Saturday evening at the Massac Indoor Facility from 6 p.m. Windward Island Volcanoes head coach Kenroy Peters has called on his players to do some reflection as they get set to face Guyana in the second round of matches in the CWI Regional 4-day tournament. The Windwards are coming off a 4-wicket defeat in the first match earlier this week. The 2 sides will meet again on Sunday in the second match in Antigua.
Well, it's about reflecting. Reflection is very important. I think as a batting group, we have to look at where we went wrong. Partnerships, we probably needed more partnership. At the start, we need to be a bit tighter with the new ball. We know the ability and the potential and the skill that Joseph brings. And we know once we can play to our strengths and force him, even though being experienced, force him to do something outside of his character. That's one area that we have to capitalize in. Being patient and also mentally. Yes, it's a quick turnover, not much days for training, but a lot of days for mental preparation. And we have to look back at where we went wrong. We have to be honest with ourselves. Accountability is important as well. So each player needs to focus on their strengths, mentally I'm talking about, and see where they went wrong so that in the next game we can actually be mentally ready for the battle, especially with the strengthening bowling attack of Guyana.
Windward Island Volcanoes head coach Kenroy Peters. The Volcanoes have lost their last 6 matches against Guyana, and Guyana is expected to be boosted with the return of West Indies fast bowler Shamar Joseph. Peters says he doesn't believe that the struggles against Guyana are psychological.
I don't think it's affecting us mentally. As I said again, I think it boils down to execution and being patient. I think sometimes that we relax a bit too long, if that makes sense. And then with the experience of the Happy Eagles, they have been here many times, so they will know. It's like deja vu. They have been there before, they have seen it before, and they will be able to capitalize on any moment that they see they can creep back into the game. And I think that's what happened today. Well, in this game, that they got moments where they got a chance to get back into the game, and which they did.
Windward Island Volcanoes head coach Kenroy Peters. Staying with cricket, Blair Tickner took a 4-wicket haul as New Zealand came from behind to beat Bangladesh in the first ODI Friday in Bangladesh. New Zealand took first knock and got 247 for 8 in their 50 overs. Henry Nichols led the way with 68 and Dean Foxcroft added 59. Soriful Islam picked up 2 for 27 and Rishad Hossain 2 for 44. Bangladesh were the driver's seat in the run chase at 184 for 3, but lost their way and were all out for 221. Saif Hassan got 57 and Tawid Hidroy 55. Tickner picked up 4 for 40. Nathan Smith took 3 for 45. New Zealand won by 26 runs and lead the 3-match series 1-0. League champions Club 1 will be gunning for their second win in as many matches as the KFC National Volleyball League continues this weekend. The defending men's Division 1 and Division 2 champs will clash with rivals Sunrise on Sunday at Marigot. The Club 1 women will also meet the Sunrise women on Sunday, while on Saturday action heads to the Windsor Park with the KT Tacklers taking on the Breakers in the Division 2. Celtics taking on defending champions Acers in the women's division, and Celtics will take on the Young Vets in the men's Division 1. Well, that's a wrap on this evening's Sport Report. I've been the presenter of the Sport Report, Alian Christopher, on behalf of the news and sports. And our links person this evening, Joseph Fadul. I'm saying good evening.
DBS Radio gives you top quality service over any other for live streaming of funerals. Call us today at 448-3282.
Good evening and welcome to this evening's edition of the DBS Radio Community Bulletin Board. It is the 17th day of April 2026. We begin with this evening's edition of the DBS Radio Death Announcements. We announce the death of Tony John, better known as Simon Randy Kazimi, age 78, of Salisbury, Dominica. He died on Wednesday, the 1st of April 2026 at the Salisbury Health Center. He was the father of Kezia Kazimi. He will be remembered by his brothers Huxley, Michael, Martin, Philip, and Kennedy Kazimi. His sisters Agnes and Caroline Kazimi, Meno Yuzeb, Susan Norris, and Diane James. His adopted sister, Lucy Elwa, also known as Gwenny. Brothers-in-law, Wellington Uzeb, Brian Norris, and Adrian Wilburn. Sisters-in-law, Davon, Adriana, Udine, Mary and Vanel Kazimi, and Heslin Ambo. Nieces and nephews, Wayne, Dimples, Quayle, Ike, Melvin, Erlin, Kelson, or that should be Kenson, Mikkel, Kensha, Ayana, Anez, Kaylin and Kiona Kazimi, Kimra Ponda, Gersha Uzeb, Nisha Dura, Jill John Jules, Chanel, Skelton, Kairis Harrigan, Danielle, Quinn and Destiny Norris, the children of Lucy Elwa, Murphy, Uni, Jennifer, Christiani, and Claudia, and the children of the late Ernie Vidal. Cousins, the children of the late Mimi George, Harry, Florence, Noel, Newell, and Winston, the children of the late Shelford Casimir, Thomas, Cecilia, Elizabeth, Robinson, Emily, Ophelia, Annie, Paul, and Johnson, the children of the late Margareton Underwood, Mary, Reno, and Lonise, the children of the late Ines John Charles, Momon, Eccleston, David, and Decelia, the children of the late Merle Isidore, Elaine Shillingford and family, Ruby Isidore and family, Clara Boston and family, and the Farrell family of Paybush, and other relatives and friends, names too numerous to mention. The body of the late Tony John, better known as Simon Randy Kazimi, can be viewed from 1:30 p.m. on Monday, the 27th of April, 2026, at the Salisbury Beach. The funeral service will take place at 2 p.m. and will be followed by interment at the Salisbury Hall Burial Ground. The management and staff of your nation station, DBS Radio, extends deepest condolences to all bereaved.
And now, your Community Bulletin Board.
Welcome to the general announcements on this evening's edition of the DBS Radio Community Bulletin Board. The family of the late Merle Coffey of Grand Fort, better known as Miss Merle, would like to say a big thank you to all those who assisted in one way or another during her illness and death. Special thanks to the management and staff of Sleep in Comfort Funeral Home, Lucian John Lewis, the Laplane Health Team, especially Nurse Baron and Mrs. Danielle, Ofa, Parish Priest Father Fanso, Mrs. Hattie Leslie, Morgan's family, Dr. John